Kate gets her hair and brushes. I get my protein powder. Who's more excited?
Her what brushes?
What have we? This is the first time I've ever actually tried pre-workout, would you believe? I've never actually had this stuff. I'm going to save it for the tough leg days. Got some egg whites to try those out. And we get some free goodies, did we? I don't know what that is. Okay. And then a 5 kilo bag of vanilla, because vanilla is just the easiest to use for porridge mainly. I drink very little of this stuff, mainly use it for oats and smoothies more than anything. So today was a shooting video day for Kate's online program back there. She's a bit OCD with me too, like putting back the dumbbells. Kate has a nice philosophy with the training side of things. She used to dance a lot as well, like, and she sees a lot of her friends are into like thinking that they need to go running to get in shape or tone up, for example. And what you find is that it doesn't really get them anywhere over time. So Kate is embracing the ladies to lift some heavy ass weights with her new online program, hopefully launching at the second week in June. What do I think will be more calories? Dun dun dun. So here's the problem with tracking out when you're out and about, or keeping an eye on the calorie side of things as best we can. I'm going to go for this G-Club sandwich here with sourdough, and I'm going to literally pop everything in as accurate as I can into my FitnessPal, because if I'm serious about staying on track and assessing properly, this is the only way to do it. Like, so in terms of assessing body weight and assessing the food side of things, everywhere I go, it's the mindset I have for it, like, because once I'm setting a goal, there's no point in prick-arsing around with it. I'll do it properly and I'll do it right. And plus, if I track that properly now, I'll have it for again if I want to come in, or I can give it to my clients as well, like. So yeah, and if I think there's something that's just too much in it, like the basil mayo, I might just leave that out altogether and save a couple of 100 calories even by doing that alone. So here is the finished product. I'm after getting the sauces on the side, because you can see that will be inside this without you even knowing. But this is super easy to track in my FitnessPal, like, because 2 slices of sourdough bread, bacon, chicken, whatever's added into it with the I can add in my olive oil then as well, because everything's always cooked in so much oil here. I might even throw in a bit of butter, because I know the bread has been cooked in it too, but it just makes it easier to track long term. And Kate's doing the exact same thing as well with hers over there. But if you want to try and track, like, get the simple stuff, you know, we both can up the calories on the side to make it easier. James can't get over the protein in pasta. This new pasta. This is the pasta we found in the fat loss workshop we had last night.
Hi, Connor.
Okay. So these are the tools you need for proper assessment, like basic weighing scales, basic measuring tape. But to be honest, I'm a bit slack in this myself, because I keep an eye on 2 main measurements here depending on what I'm doing, is hip and waist, because if they're getting too big or too small, there's something that's going wrong. And then weigh-ins. I'm going to talk about these again in a while, but like, this is what we do weekly for our members here. And obviously the device I'm holding with that tripod over there. Sorry that James was annoying me there trying to ball at me. But basically, tape, scales, camera is all you need. And in terms of weighing, I'll show you the scales now in a few minutes. But in terms of tape, I kind of keep an eye on these more than anything. I like to do those monthly, and I'm going to follow those monthly, depending on if I'm having a more aggressive fat loss goal like I am now. I might just do them every 2 weeks just to keep accountable to make sure I'm doing it. But with weigh-ins, I do them daily. For the simple fact is that it's the most accurate way that you're going to get a measurement. So I'm just back in the door from hurling training with a pounding headache, but I forgot my fucking training gear too, because Kate locked me out of the apartment. But here, watch, this is pointless for me now if I was to hop up in the weighing scales there, because I have a full day of food behind me, and it's a bit stupid because you can't accurately weigh in. So back to the 7-day weigh-in thing is that I'll get up in the morning, I'll do my business, I'll whip off my jocks, I'll stand up in that jog butt naked, take a reading, and I either pop it down the whiteboard I have here in the apartment, or I will write it into, I had the little Fitbit, I don't really wear it anymore, in that you can track your weight as well, or in my FitnessPal app where you track your food, you can actually track your weight too. So I popped it in there, and lately I've actually done up a Google Sheets Excel file where I can keep it online, and over time you can put into nice cool graphs and stuff like that as well. But I'll do that daily, because 7 days a week your body will fluctuate. Some days if you've less sleep, if you have more water one days, if you have more carbs one days, the water fluctuates and your body will fluctuate, which means your body will fluctuate. And especially for ladies as well, because this highly pisses them off that if they're on the time of the month or if they've had a different day's eating, their weight can fluctuate anywhere from 1 to fucking 4 pounds in a day. And then if you weigh in on a day where you're off, or if you weigh in on an evening where you've had food, water into you all that day, you cannot weigh accurately. It's probably going to be off and you're going to think you're off then. So that's with the 7-day weigh-ins, and you just simply take an average from that. And see, if you do that over time as well, you'll get an idea for what kind of way your body fluctuates, and you can get the most accurate reading. But if you don't want to be too picky, it's not a matter of being obsessed with weight or anything like that. It's to prove to you how your body fluctuates. But as well, if you want to get the most accurate, do it. Then from there, I normally take like 2 readings a week, whatever the best days are usually for me, and I'll use it then as my benchmark to make sure that I'm assessing weekly, to make sure whatever pounds I'm ranging for that week, whether it's up or down for body fat, that will be one of my main things. Photos every 2 weeks will be my main things, and I'll keep an eye on the tape measurement as well, depending on how much body fat somebody has to lose. So that's what I'm doing over the next 6 weeks up until Dubai. I'll be throwing some progress photos on my Instagram as well tomorrow when this video should be live. And if you want to follow me on the little pathway of how I'm doing that, make sure you click over to my Instagram as well. But hopefully that video is helpful in terms of the assessing things, because if you're not assessing, you haven't a clue whether you're making progress. If you're stalled, definitely 100% stalled for 2 weeks, then it's time to make a change, either with your training side of things or with your nutritional side of things. Because if you're off in 1 week, you don't want to be too quick to make a change, because you mightn't be off at all. That's why we say if you're definitely stalled for 2 weeks, then it's time for a change if you are realistically stalled.